Hi again. Okay, so there was a question about the excerpt number 3, which is assigned to everyone with the last name starting with the letter M through R. Um, so the question was about a section of the text, and I'll just read the whole sentence because this was tripping one of you up. So it goes. It is the doctrine of Malthus applied with manifold force to the whole animal and vegetable kingdoms. For in this case there can be no artificial increase of food and no prudential restraint from marriage. Okay, so what that's talking about is, and I had to look this up, the doctrine of Malthus. Okay, Malthus. This is a theory that Darwin is referring to, and it's an economic theory called Malthusian theory that basically says that population grows in a geometric progression. And that's what Darwin is talking about, right? That if there is no check on, if there's no natural selection, if there's no check on population growth, that it's just going to keep growing and growing in a geometric progression. Okay, and I'm going to put a link to a little information about this particular theory. And so, um, because of the higher population, Malthus theorized that there will be too many people, animals, whatever, too many living things, and not enough food. And specifically, people would die because of the shortage of food. And it would all come to this great calamity, what eventually happened, called the Malthusian catastrophe, which, could be famine or disease or whatever, and that would correct the population problem. So, in other words, a significant number of people would die, and then the population would go back down to a reasonable level. So, think of like in the Dark Ages, a lot of people say the bubonic plague or the influenza epidemic of 1918. These were all kind of catastrophes that wiped out a large population of people. Around the world. So, and of course, the plague was in Western Europe. So that's what that refers to. That's what that part of the text refers to. So Darwin is saying that he's talking about the rate at which creatures increase, and he says that what he's saying is applying the Malthusian doctrine. So he says it's applied with manifold force to the whole animal and vegetable kingdoms. And then you notice there's a semicolon there. Okay, whenever you see a semicolon, just break that sentence into two and look at what the first part says, figure that out, and then look at the second part. Just treat them like different separate sentences. So then he says, for in this case, there can be no artificial increase of food, no prudential restraint from marriage. So, in other words, food can't be made, and you can't stop people from marrying and from reproducing, and not just people, but species as well, like elephants or giraffes or, tarantulas. Okay, so that's what that part of the text is saying. All right. So on the text, make sure you read it all. Read it a few times. It's okay to Google like things like Malthus, okay, but don't Google Darwin's theory, okay, because I'll be able to tell. All right. I really want you to wrestle with the text and try to interpret it as best as you can. Okay. I know this is a difficult text. It's not like any of the others that we've read. It's a scientific text. But I have confidence that you will be able to get through it. If you have any other questions about other parts of the text, please send me a message in the inbox. Okay? All right. I hope that helped. Thank you. Bye.